Hi everyone, welcome to the Bela Coaching YouTube channel. I am going to be sharing an interview that I did earlier this year with somebody related to self-care and what does that really look like? I feel like this term self-care gets thrown around a lot, and I really sat down one day and was like, what actually is self-care anyway? What does that even mean? And people were talking about, oh, I got my nails done, that's self-care. Oh, like I bought a new pair of shoes, that's self-care. There's so many things that they get thrown around, and it's not necessarily an accurate portrayal of what true self-care really looks like. And so this video is for helping professionals that are really trying to figure out what self-care looks like to them and how to communicate it effectively with their clients. And so I've created a resource for you through this video today, and I'll add some additional resources and links in the description below to make sure that you're living your life energized and efficient and productive, but also just living it to the fullest, the way that you want to live it. So I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the description below. Let me know which parts of this were most effective and which parts you needed the most of this video.
Welcome to the Bela Coaching YouTube channel, supporting helping professionals with long-lasting habits for energy in your life, body, and business through courses like Balance for Life to help mental health professionals create simple systems and habits to make the most out of your time, money, and lifestyle. Nutrition for Life to help you transition to plant-based nutrition and stick to it for good so that you can improve your mental and physical health and become a conscious consumer in the process. As well as individual coaching and counseling to cover anything in between so that you can live whole, love well, and lead adventurously. For more information, see the resources in the description below.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Therapeutic Tuesday. I'm Tasha Rollins, your host, and today we have another very special guest. We've got Miss Bela. She is a holistic wellness coach with Bela Coaching. Welcome to Therapeutic Tuesday.
Hi, thank you.
So I am just so excited for you to be on here today and to give us a little information about what it is that you do and your background, how you got started in all of this, and all your self-care and share tips for everyone.
Okay. So I got started by, actually I was a teacher first, and I always loved helping other people and then became a therapist. While I was teaching, however, I experienced a really severe burnout where I was not taking care of myself, was not paying attention to my own needs. And it's one of those things, like you said, as a caregiver, sometimes we're like, well, I shouldn't need this, or like, I just need to do what I tell everybody else to do and I'll be okay. But for some reason it's just not working. And, I started to become really apathetic and just not finding joy in it and couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And thought I was burning out, and I didn't even realize that was what I was experiencing at that time. I was just so tired, started coping with alcohol and, just really going this downward spiral. And I was like, what happened to me? This is not who I've never been like this before. This has never happened before, but it just got darker and worse. So at the peak of it, I ended up in a mental health hospital. And again, just was like very embarrassed because that was not something that I'd ever seen myself doing. I was always helping other people. But it really was a huge wake-up call of like, I need to get myself together and figure out what the heck is going on and why I'm doing this. I want to be able to find joy in helping other people, but also not have it be compromising myself and my self-worth and my love for what I do. And I want to be able to give better this time around. So it was a huge wake-up call for me. And over the last 5 or 6 years, I've been working with therapists and coaches and my own self-care to really make sure that I have this solid so that I can be a better giver. And so now that has become what I help others to do. So I helping professionals to get organized and develop strong, healthy habits so that they can give better, be more productive, feel happy, doing what they're doing, and being able to not lose sight of themselves in the service of others. That's a huge, huge thing that we need to keep in mind. And so self-care is protecting that joy and that balance in your life through any season of life. And so I actually use Maslow's hierarchy to kind of explain this when it comes to like what self-care looks like. So level one for Maslow's hierarchy is just, are you taking care of your basic needs? You know, are you getting enough food? Let's talk about getting enough food before we even talk about healthy food. Just get food, you know,
Yes,
just
yes.
take a
Make
break
time
for
to
lunch.
eat.
Yes, just take a break for lunch, take a break to eat, make sure you're getting enough water for the day, make sure that you are getting enough rest at night. Um, are you getting out in nature and getting some fresh air in your system and taking care of those needs? Level two for Maslow's hierarchy is security and safety. So are you safe and secure? Are your boundaries in place to protect your mind, body, and spirit? And consistently meet that level one self-care, because if we don't have those boundaries in place, we start, you know, getting more loosey goosey. People take advantage of us, and then our anxiety goes up, our joy in life goes down because
Yes.
we're not protecting the things that are most important for our health and our well-being. And also talking about like advocating for your needs. So all of this is taken care of in that level two of self-care. Level three self-care is the belonging and love needs. So are you spending time with the people that matter most to you? Are you making new friends and spending time with your friends? Sometimes I've talked to mental health professionals and they're like, I don't even, like, I love these people, but I don't even know the last time I spent time with them. Or I'm missing out on watching my kids grow up because I'm so consumed by this. And it's with a good heart. I mean, we want to love and we want to take care of our family, want to provide for our family. But if we're not spending time with our family, then what is it all for? You know, and then we start to question whether it's all worth it. And that leads to a bit more of the depression as well. Um, so, you know, paying attention to that, are we spending time where we need to? Level four self-care is the esteem needs. So are you accomplishing things that bring you joy and that give you a sense of joy and pride in life? And like, you know, I feel good about doing what I'm doing for myself and for my family, and just appreciating where you're coming from at this point, you know, looking at what you've accomplished so far and what you have in your life that you're like, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And I think finding that peace within yourself, taking time just to enjoy life and enjoy your own company, you know, is so important as a way of self-care, because if we're not doing it, how are we supposed to give that to other people?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, if we need to really make sure that we're protecting that for ourselves so that we can give that. And then Maslow's last level is self-actualization. So are you finding that fulfillment in work? And also, are you remembering to play and get creative? I think this is something that I love bringing into people's lives when we talk about habits, you know, talking about nutrition or talking about fitness or, you know, creating organization. A lot of those things can give people kind of like stress, and they're like, it has to be done like a certain way. And we get kind of like so caught up in it that we forget that this is play. This is learning a new skill. It's learning a new habit and a new system that's going to make your life so much better and bring a lot of that joy in. And so I talk a lot about nutrition, and when it comes to nutrition, I love just experimenting with different foods, and you know, each week trying a new vegetable or a new fruit or, you know, whatever's in season, and testing out new recipes. And it's not like, okay, how many calories is this? It's not like, you know, being really crazy about it. It's just enjoying it and playing in these different areas and arenas, so that we don't avoid those things that can really bring our bodies joy and energy, so that we can then give them to others. I couldn't believe how much my relationships were getting worse, or like I was more angry, I was more irritable and frustrated because I wasn't having fun and just like playing with the process. And so it's interesting, as each of these things work out, not only does your life get better, but the lives of those that you are loving and involved with, they see you more. They, you know, your kids see you giving better, and like, and they want to spend more time with you and around you. And those that you're serving, they see she has something or he has something, that person has something that I would really like to have in my own life. And so it gives them a sense of hope as well. And we do that starting with ourselves through this process of self-care. And so what does this look like though when we actually implement it? I wanted to go into that as well. So we talked about these 5 levels. When we talk about actually implementing it, I highly suggest setting yourself a master schedule. And with this master schedule, you're going to put everything in that you do over the course of your week. And I want you to schedule in those first basic needs. So like, when are you going to be eating? When are you going to be sleeping? When are you going to be stopping work? When are you going to start? And really set the foundation with the basic needs, and then any boundaries, like I said, with starting and stopping work. When are you going to play with your kids? So those are the level 3 things. When are you going to hang out with friends, and spend time with the people that matter most to you? And actually, I have reminders in my calendar each month for certain friends that I'm going to talk to, or every other week, if that's the kind of friendship that I have, or every week. So, so then they're actually scheduled in my calendar so that I don't forget about those people. And it doesn't become like 5 months later and you're like, oh yeah, I have that friend that I haven't talked to in forever. And they bring me so much joy, and they always make me forget about, all the stressors that I have. And yet we're not tuning into those people. So really trying to create this schedule that has all of these different things that we need to make it through. And so yeah, same with level 4. When are you going to have the time for yourself to rest and recharge? And so my husband and I, we've gotten kind of on a schedule of like about once a month we travel somewhere. Travel can be really inexpensive, and it can also be local. It doesn't have to be super far away. I couldn't believe it. There are like so many opportunities right near me in our area. Even when we lived in Kansas, we were like in the middle of nowhere, but we still managed to find like a park that had a lake, and we were like, okay, like we're gonna go visit there. So whatever it looks like for you, what does that rest and recharge space look like? What are you gonna do? It doesn't have to be the same thing every time. And then the level 5 is like the self-actualization. So, scheduling in those goals and checking in with those goals each week to say, am I doing what I say that I want to do with my life? How many of us have set like those ambitions and those goals like the first week of the year, and we're like, yes, I'm going to do this, and then we don't look at it anymore. And so by
6 months
checking,
have gone by.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And so by checking in with them regularly, then we're going to start to see our patterns, and then ask like, what's going well, what's not going so well, and what do I need to do to adjust in this area? And so that's really going to help you to feel a sense of control and a sense of ownership of your life and your schedule, which when we're talking about self-care, it's this organization that helps you to feel like I am taking care of myself, I'm taking care of my needs, and I'm also taking the best care of those around me that I can. So yeah, so that's a bit of it.
So that is just really some great information. And I think you've really broken it down not only into what self-care entails, what it is, but what it looks like to put action behind it, and how we need to actually check in and hold ourselves accountable to what it is we say we want to live, right? What we want our life to look like. So that is a very important thing for all clinicians, I believe, for anyone really, parents, clinicians, even if you're not in the healthcare industry, everyone benefits from self-care.
Yeah, definitely. And so I did have one last component to this, which is, what about the things that don't fit into the schedule? Or what about when it still feels like there's so much left over that we're like, but I still have all of these things. Or maybe you're managing too much and you're like, in order for me to get all these things done, I'm still running myself ragged. And so there are certain things that we can do to help with that. And so making a list of all of the things that you do over the course of the week, or that you have to do, for instance, this next week. And then separating them into categories by, this is what I need to do. So that'd be the first category. This is what I need to do. Second category, this is something that I can delegate. This is something that I can have a virtual assistant do, or a secretary, or what can I automate as well? So that kind of goes along with delegation, but like having an online scheduling management system. So I use something called Acuity. There's also one called Calendly, which, when I used to sit down and try to schedule a time, it was like, okay, when works for you? Okay, when works for you? And you're trying to figure out your schedules. Whereas I can just send them a link and, they book it on a time that works for
Yes.
them. It has an application on it. And then, yeah, I don't have to touch anything. I just sent them that link. So what can be automated for you? And then looking at, is there something that I can do to collaborate with somebody else? So, I mentioned meal planning. And so meal planning is something that you could do like a party and have a bunch of people over. You cook a bunch of different meals and then you exchange those meals together. And then you have food in your fridge and your freezer. And you've also made it a collaborative, fun event that you can do with a bunch of people. And so it's less like, oh my goodness, I have all this work to do on my own. And that those kind of things go for business as well. I work with a client that she has 3 kids. She's also working a job and she has a husband, and she was doing all of the cooking and cleaning. And then she'd come home, and as we started to talk, she was like, well, yeah, but it's just I come home from work and the whole kitchen is a mess. The kids have been leaving stuff there all day. Now I have to clean the kitchen and then I have to fix dinner and I'm just so exhausted already. And we talked about it and I was like, you can like, can we have a conversation with your kids? These are teenagers. And, of course, teenagers are fun. I'm one of 6. I definitely know what remember that. But at the same time, she said, well, I could ask them to help. And I actually think they would understand and be okay with it and be willing to help and try to support me in this. So I was like, yeah, you can invite them to do meals with you. When my mom was in the kitchen, we were all helping out. We all had different roles and stuff. She had like a chore chart, and so some people were setting and clearing the table, some were doing the dishes, some were emptying the dishwasher. Saturday mornings were chore time, so we all had different chores that we did around the house. And so it teaches your kids and the people in your life ownership over their own stuff. And you don't have to do it all. And that's the bottom line, is like sometimes self-care is not just taking a break for 10 minutes. It's also delegating it so you don't have so much on your plate and you're not just taking on everybody else's burdens. That's not our job. Our job isn't to just do everything for everybody. That's just going to end up depleting you and exhausting you, and you won't be able to keep up with your
Right.
own health and wellness that way. So collaborating with others. And the last thing is this something that needs to be done now, or is this something that I can put on hold or slow down? Sometimes we really want to accomplish a goal, and so we're like, push, 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 push. And then it's like, oh my goodness, 6 months have gone by and I haven't had a break. And, and
Yes.
it's like, whether you're starting a business, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. I've been an entrepreneur. And it's, you keep working at it and then there's no break. And so we still need to have that kind of slower mentality of like, this is going to take time and it's so worth it to me, but I also want to enjoy life as it's happening so that I'm not burning myself out.
Yes,
And
there's
so,
definitely joy in the journey. And if we are burnt out and stressed out, we are not experiencing that joy.
yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
well, Miss Bella, thank you again for taking the time to share your words of wisdom and insight. And for everyone that's interested in contacting you, her newest course, Balance for Life, starts October the 1st, guys. So if you're interested in getting in on that, you need to move quick because I'm sure that there will be a deadline for enrollment. So October the 1st is the start date for that. And I hope you guys reach out to her and connect because she has really got some awesome stuff together for you guys. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed today's Therapeutic Tuesday. We'll be back next week with another segment. Have a great week.
So that was the video for today. Thank you for tuning in, for learning about how to effectively self-care for yourself and for your clients. Let me know in the comments below what your main takeaways were and the main area that you feel you need to work on. And we'll go from there. I look forward to replying to your comments, hearing your thoughts, And if you have anything else that you wanted to add that you're like, oh, this was also really helpful for my self-care, or this is also what I share with my clients, any of those additional resources, feel free to share those in the comments below. And also check out the description to connect to additional resources. I have a resource down there about how to create your schedule and really format it in a way that is efficient and effective for you so that you can have more balance and more energy in your life. And I also have a resource down there for nutritional tools. And this nutritional webinar is going to be for helping you to transition to plant-based vegan and learn more about what that could look like for you to make sure that you are effectively taking care of yourself when it comes to your nutrition as well, because what we put in is what comes out. So it's going to come out in our emotions, in the way that we respond to other people, in the way that we communicate with our friends, family, and our clients. It's going to come out in so many other ways, and so we want to make sure that our nutrition is strong as well. So for any additional resources, check out the description, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment below with what was most helpful for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button along with the bell icon to get notified about upcoming videos from Bela Coaching like this one. Visit kbelacoaching.com for details on services and information on upcoming live events, and follow Bela on social media like Instagram and Facebook for more great content. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.